Hello everybody, it's Old Gamer Jack. Let me tell you something that most people don't want to hear. Stop saving your money. Yeah, I said it. And before you jump into conclusions, just hear me out for a minute. Because somewhere along the way, somebody told you this simple idea. Just save your money. Put a little aside. Build a savings account. And you believed it. We all did. It sounds reasonable, safe, and smart, but nobody ever really explained what that advice actually does in the real world. I'm talking about when you're broke, especially. Because here's the truth. The bank is not sitting there to help you. That little savings account you're proud of, that's earning almost nothing, like 0.01% interest, maybe 0.03 if you're lucky. Meanwhile, everything you need to survive is getting more expensive every single month. Groceries, rent, gas, insurance, all of it creeping up like it's on a timer. We've all seen it, the ugly inflation. So what are you really doing? You're putting your money in a slow-moving box while inflation is outside taking bites out of it. So your money depreciates. You understand what I'm saying? So I want you to think about that for a second. You think you're building a safety net, but for a lot of people, you're just building a false sense of security. Because I've seen it happen. People spend 20, 30, 40 years saving, doing everything right, and then they retire and realize the money doesn't stretch the way they thought it would, It doesn't hit like it used to. It doesn't even cover what life cost anymore. And that's the part nobody's talking about. So listen to me carefully here for a minute. I'm not saying saving money is stupid, okay? It's not. If you've got your life together, you got good income, everything's stable, saving actually matters. But that's not who I'm talking to right now, to be honest with you. I'm talking to the people that's living paycheck to paycheck. The people stretching every dollar like it owes them something. Because when you're in that position, just save more money is not advice. That's a joke. It's like telling someone who's drowning, breathe slower. And I know what that feels like. You skip meals. You say no to your kids. You push off things that you actually need. You try to be responsible with every dollar you spend. And at the end of the month, you're still broke, still stressed, still one emergency away from everything collapsing. You start asking yourself, what am I doing wrong? Am I failing? Or you could look at it like, was I just given advice that never worked in the first place? And here's the uncomfortable truth about that. Most people were never taught how money actually works. They were taught how money sounds in theory. I hope you understand what I'm saying there. Not how it behaves in reality. Because saving only works when there's something left over to save. And most people don't have that luxury. I didn't. Not for a while. So let's be honest with each other, okay? Everything is more expensive than it used to be. That's not a feeling, that's reality. We all know it. So when you put that $100 into a savings account, what you're really doing is giving the bank a loan, a cheap loan. So they can take that same money and they make more off of it somewhere else. Someone else's credit card, somebody else overdrafts. You get pennies. That's your cut, if that even, And here's the part that really hurts people when they realize it. Something always happens. A flat tire, broken alternator, a medical bill, a missed shift. Those are some of the things that used to get me. Every time it seems like I was getting a little bit ahead, bam, something like that would happen. It was draining, because that small savings you worked so hard to build is gone. And what do you say? I should have saved more? No, that's not the lesson. The lesson is you were playing a game that was never designed for our reality. And that's the truth. If you're making under $40,000 a year, saving $20 a week is not changing your life. It's not building wealth. It's barely surviving one small emergency. And that's it. So we need to stop pretending that saving is the solution, because at that level, it isn't. Now, I want to change how you look and how you think about that money. That $20 you're trying to save every week. That's not savings. That's ammunition, okay? It's protection. It's flexibility. It's breathing room. That's what it really is. Because saving was never designed to make you rich, all right? It was designed to protect people who already had money, which is not us. That's the part they don't say out loud. Saving is for stability, okay? Not escape. So the goal isn't to become some extreme penny pinching saver. It's not. The goal is simpler than that. Just stop the bleeding. That's it. Subscriptions you forgot about. Subscriptions you don't really need or use anymore. Impulse spending when you're stressed. Convenience purchases that add up without you noticing. You don't cut everything. You just cut enough to breathe again. I'm not trying to make you miserable. Even an extra $100 to $300 a month changes everything at this level. Everything. Now I'll tell you something real here, okay? Some people even do things like donate plasma to bring in extra money, okay? It's not glamorous, but neither is being broke. All right, in my area, I did that. You can get about $200 extra a month doing that. And sometimes the extra couple $100 a month is the difference between falling behind or staying barely ahead. Okay, so here's the real shift. This is what I learned. You don't save money to just stack it. You save money to buy time. You save money to buy tools. You save money so you don't get trapped by emergencies. Because the first goal is simple. Build a small barrier. Something like $500. And I know that's a big amount, okay? Not because it makes you rich, understand? But because it stops the worst hits from destroying you. Your car breaks down. You don't go into payday loan spiral. You don't get crushed by interest. You handle it. That's freedom at this level. Not wealth, freedom. Okay? Now look, that freedom will make you stress-free. That'll help out with your health. It'll help out with your clarity. All right? Following me? All right, then you start thinking differently about spending. Inflation is real. So instead of fighting it blindly, adapt. You buy bulk where it makes sense. Rice, beans, toilet paper, soap. These are things you're going to use anyway. So it's not hoarding. That's survival math. That's a guaranteed 8% return, by the way. That's proven. All right? Do it yourself. Look it up. And that'll protect the future you. Okay? And yeah, places like all these warehouse stores, they exist for a reason. Not for luxury, for stability. Okay? But even that only goes so far, because the truth that nobody really wants to say aloud, your biggest problem isn't spending, it's earning. Yeah, that's something that's a big topic, okay? But at some point, you can't cut your way out of it. You have to earn your way forward. And we all hate hearing that, but that is bottom line truth, and it's a hard one to swallow. But that means you start building skills, find better work, get certificates, certifications and stuff. You take this money you're putting behind and you start using it, okay? You buying tools that upgrade your ability to make money. Invest in yourself like you're a machine that needs to upgrade, because you are. You understand? Once you start understanding that, everything shifts. You stop thinking like someone that's trying to survive the month, and you start thinking like someone's trying to change their position. Because that's what we're doing. We want to change our position. Okay? So don't become a hoarder of pennies. Don't confuse saving with progress. And don't mistake being responsible for being stuck. Because the system's built to look simple. Okay? Save money, be patient, stay consistent, all that trash talk. But real life is more complicated than that. And if you're struggling right now, okay, you don't need perfect advice. You need advice that actually works where you are. So yeah, saving money matters, but it's not the miracle. It never was. It won't fix low income. It won't stop emergencies. And it won't magically change your life overnight. Okay? What will change your life? Understanding the game you're actually in. Making small moves that gives you breathing room. Slowly shifting from survival to being in control. I'll leave you to this, okay? Stop trying to look financially responsible for people who aren't living your reality. Stop doing what actually keeps you alive in it. Do that. You understand? I think I worded that right. Because once you stop playing the wrong game, you finally have a chance to win at the right one. Now, this is part 1 of a 3-part series. If any of this interests you, like, subscribe, comment. Okay? This is Old Gamer Jack. I'm out.